All right, let's get ready to dive deep into the world of varnish making today.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to help get you ready for that big interview and get you mixing those perfect finishes.
What I think is so fascinating about this role is it's this blend of science and precision and even like artistry. We're
Yeah,
talking about those protective and beautiful coatings you see on everything,
right.
from furniture to cars.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to equip you with the knowledge and strategies you need to stand out.
Absolutely.
So first things first, let's define what a varnish maker does day to day.
Right.
This career guide we have here paints a pretty vivid picture.
Yeah, you'll be responsible for blending and cooking these chemical concoctions and, operating machinery,
Right.
making sure that each batch meets those quality standards. And you're doing all this in a manufacturing environment.
Right.
So, think safety goggles, maybe air protection,
Yeah.
a keen awareness of your surroundings.
Really sounds like a job where attention to detail is non-negotiable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of essential skills, let's just jump right into some common interview questions you might get.
Okay, let's do it.
The first one that you might encounter is, what inspired you to pursue a career in varnish making? Now, this one might seem like a softball,
Yeah.
but it's your chance to showcase that you have a genuine interest.
Yeah, it's like that first chemical reaction that sets the whole process in motion.
Right,
So instead of giving some generic answer,
right.
think about what really sparked that fascination.
Yes.
Was it a childhood project or a love of chemistry?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you were just blown away by like a beautifully finished piece of furniture.
Right. A personal story can really make you stand out.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
be ready for that follow-up question, like, why this company?
Oh, yeah.
This is where your research comes into play.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to connect your aspirations to the company's specific work, their values, or even a project that caught your eye.
Right, so don't just say, it seems like a stable job.
Oh,
Tell them why you're genuinely excited about their work.
exactly.
All right, let's tackle one that gets a little more technical.
Okay.
How about this? How do you ensure consistency in the quality of your varnishes?
Now, this question is designed to assess your understanding of quality control procedures.
Okay.
The interviewer is looking for a detailed explanation of your process.
So, like, what would you do?
How would you inspect the raw materials, monitor the mixing and cooking stages,
Yeah.
and what tests would you use to check the viscosity, the color, drying time?
And speaking of tests, don't forget about industry standards.
Yes.
This career guide mentions ASTM tests,
Right.
which are kind of like the gold standard in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Dropping a reference to those shows you're familiar with the technical side.
Exactly, and be prepared to go deeper.
Okay.
The interviewer might ask about your experience with specific testing equipment
Right.
or how you'd interpret the results.
Okay.
It's all about demonstrating that you're not just following a recipe, you understand the science behind it.
So it's not just about mixing ingredients.
Uh-huh.
It's about being a varnish detective.
Yes.
I like that.
Right.
Okay, let's move on to a question that's all about staying ahead of the curve.
Okay.
What about how do you stay up to date with new varnish making techniques and technologies?
This is where you get to showcase your commitment to continuous learning.
Oh.
Mention industry publications you read, online forums where you engage with other professionals,
Yeah.
or even like a recent innovation that excited you.
Yeah, it's like subscribing to those scientific journals or attending those professional development workshops.
Yes.
It shows you're passionate about keeping your skills sharp.
Right.
Yeah.
Now brace yourself for this next one,
Okay.
because it's all about problem solving.
Uh-oh.
Describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a problem with a batch of varnish.
Ooh. This one feels like a tricky chemical reaction.
It is.
Yeah.
But the key is to be honest and to focus on your solution-oriented mindset. Clearly explain the problem, the steps you took to diagnose it, and how you ultimately fixed it.
Right.
And don't forget to highlight what you learned from that experience.
So let's say a batch ended up too thick.
Yeah.
You could talk about how you reviewed the recipe, checked the equipment calibration, maybe even consulted with like a more experienced colleague.
Right.
It's all about demonstrating that you can think critically and take initiatives.
Right. And speaking of experience, let's circle back to career progression for a moment.
Okay.
This career guide highlights a clear path from entry-level roles to more senior positions. Starting out, you might be assisting experienced varnish makers.
Yeah.
But with time, you could be developing new formulas.
Right.
Or even specializing in a particular type of varnish.
So there's room for both technical expertise and creativity.
Absolutely.
And with RoleCatcher's AI, you can tailor your resume and cover letter to highlight those growth opportunities and showcase that passion for advancing in the field.
Exactly. Now back to those interview questions.
All right, let's tackle a big one. How do you maintain safety in your varnish making process?
Ooh, yeah, big one.
This is non-negotiable.
Right.
You need to demonstrate a deep understanding and a commitment to safety protocols.
For sure.
Talk about wearing the appropriate PPE, following proper handling procedures for chemicals, and proactively maintaining a safe work environment.
So don't just say, I follow the rules. Give concrete examples. Like, before handling any chemicals, I always double-check the safety data sheet and wear the appropriate gloves and respirator.
Right. You're showing them that you're not just saying the right things, you're living them.
Yeah, exactly.
And be ready to discuss specific safety certifications you have or training programs you've completed.
Yeah. Okay, so safety first, always.
Absolutely.
All right, now let's dive into a question that tests your understanding of the varnish's performance.
Okay.
How about this? What is your process for testing the durability of your varnishes? Here, they want to know that you understand the qualities that make a good varnish and how to evaluate its performance.
Okay.
Describe the specific tests you use, whether it's for scratch resistance, UV exposure, or moisture resistance.
Got it.
Again, mentioning industry standards or specific testing equipment shows expertise.
It's the one thing to create a beautiful finish.
Right.
It's another to ensure it can withstand the elements.
Exactly.
All right, speaking of ensuring consistency, the next question is, how do you maintain the consistency of your varnishes from batch to batch? This feels like it ties back to quality control.
It does.
But maybe with a focus on the chemistry involved.
Precisely.
Okay.
Explain how you meticulously follow recipes, double-check measurements, and adjust the process based on environmental factors, like temperature or humidity.
Yeah.
These factors can subtly affect those chemical reactions.
So you're not just mixing ingredients, you're a varnish detective, ensuring each batch meets the exact specifications.
Yes.
I like that title. All right, now, in today's world, sustainability is a huge factor.
It is.
How would you approach the question? How do you ensure your varnishes are environmentally friendly?
This is your chance to talk about eco-friendly ingredients, waste reduction measures, and any initiatives you've taken to minimize your environmental impact.
Okay.
Mentioning specific examples like using recycled materials or implementing a solvent recovery system shows you're a responsible and forward-thinking varnish maker.
It's about creating beautiful finishes without compromising the planet.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's keep this momentum going.
Yes, we've got a few more questions to unpack
Okay.
and some valuable insights into how RoleCatcher can help you shine even brighter in that interview.
All right, sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay,
All right.
sounds good. We're back, ready to mix up some more advice to help you nail that Varnish Maker interview.
And we're not just talking about acing those questions. We're going to explore how you can really leverage your skills and your knowledge to stand out as a top candidate.
Let's dive right back into those interview questions with one that might seem a bit tricky. What do you think sets your varnishes apart from those of other varnish makers?
Ooh, this one feels like it's asking for a bit of bragging.
It is.
Yeah, but in a professional way, of course.
In a professional way, right?
Yeah.
This is your opportunity to highlight your unique skills and what makes your varnishes special.
Okay.
Perhaps you have a knack for creating custom colors. Maybe you're known for that meticulous attention to detail. Or perhaps you've even experimented with a unique technique that yields those superior results.
It's about showcasing that passion and expertise.
Right.
And you can even tie it back to the company's values or the specific requirements of the role.
Exactly.
Now, let's talk about a question that's relevant in any manufacturing setting.
Okay.
How do you balance the demands of efficiency with the need for quality in your work?
This question is all about demonstrating that you can prioritize, manage your time effectively, and streamline the process without sacrificing the quality.
Yeah, it's like finding that perfect balance in a chemical formula.
Oh, perfect analogy.
Ensuring that each ingredient contributes to the desired outcome.
Right. You could mention specific strategies that you use, like pre-weighing ingredients, organizing your workspace, or even anticipating potential bottlenecks and proactively addressing them.
Yeah, those are all really great examples of how you can showcase those problem-solving skills and your commitment to both efficiency and quality.
Absolutely.
And speaking of skills, let's circle back to this career guide.
Okay.
It mentions some alternative job titles like lacquer maker or chemical processor.
Oh, yeah.
This is a great reminder that your skills can open doors to various opportunities within the chemical manufacturing industry.
It really broadens your horizons.
It does.
And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be so helpful.
Oh, how so?
It can analyze those alternative job descriptions, identify skills you might need to develop, and even suggest relevant courses or certifications.
Oh, wow. So it can help enhance your resume.
Exactly.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, so it's like having a career GPS guiding you towards these new possibilities.
It is.
Now, let's tackle another interview question that often comes up.
Okay.
What are your salary expectations?
Ooh.
This one can feel a bit awkward.
It can be, but remember, it's a two-way street.
Okay.
The interviewer is trying to gauge if your expectations align with their budget.
Right.
And you have an opportunity to demonstrate that you understand your value.
Yeah, it's like negotiating the price of those rare and valuable chemical compounds.
That's right.
You need to know their worth.
Exactly. Before the interview, research industry salary ranges
Okay.
for similar positions in your area.
Gotcha.
You can use websites like Glassdoor or salary.com, or even tap into RoleCatcher's AI
Okay.
for insights based on your specific skill set.
So it's not just about throwing out a number.
Right.
It's about having data to back it up.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, now let's switch gears to a question that digs into your work style.
Okay.
How do you handle working under pressure?
Here you're demonstrating your resilience and your ability to stay focused and productive even when deadlines are looming or those unexpected challenges arise.
So share a specific example of a time when you successfully managed a high-pressure situation, highlighting your problem-solving skills, time management,
Yes.
and staying calm.
Right. It's like that moment when a chemical reaction starts to heat up a bit too quickly,
Uh-oh.
but you adjust the temperature and you keep everything under control.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Speaking of staying in control, let's talk about a question that often throws people off.
Okay, what is it?
What is your greatest weakness?
Oh, this one can be tricky.
It can, but the key is to be honest.
Okay.
Authentic while demonstrating self-awareness.
Yeah.
And a commitment to continuous improvement.
It's about acknowledging that even the most skilled varnish makers are always learning
Right.
and evolving.
Choose a weakness that is relevant to the job, but not a deal breaker.
Okay, so for example.
For example, you could say, I sometimes get so focused on the details that I can lose sight of the bigger picture. However, I'm actively working on this by regularly stepping back to assess my progress and ensure I'm aligned with the overall goals.
That's a great example. You've acknowledged a weakness,
Right.
but also highlighted how you're proactively addressing it.
Exactly.
Now, let's talk about a question that can often feel like a curveball.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me?
This is not the time to sit back and say, nope, I think you covered everything.
Right.
It's your chance to show your genuine interest
Right.
and gather valuable information.
Yeah, it's like that final stage of the varnish making process where you carefully inspect the finished product,
Exactly.
ensuring it meets your standards.
Prepare a list of thoughtful questions beforehand.
Okay.
Ask about company culture, opportunities for growth, or challenges of the role, or something you learned in your research that piqued your interest.
And don't be afraid to take notes.
Right.
It shows you're engaged.
Exactly. And speaking of information,
Yeah.
RoleCatcher can be so valuable in this stage, too.
Oh, so.
Its AI can analyze the company's website, recent news articles, and even employee reviews
Wow.
to give you insights into company culture and values.
It's like having a research assistant digging up those valuable nuggets of information.
It is.
Now let's shift to the bigger picture.
Okay.
Remember when we talked about career progression?
Yes.
And the career guide mentioned those alternative job titles?
Mm-hmm.
Well, RoleCatcher's AI can analyze your skills and experience.
Yeah.
And suggest potential career paths you might not have even considered.
That's right. It's like having a career counselor helping you explore all those possibilities.
Okay.
And speaking of exploring possibilities, let's dive back into those interview questions.
Okay, we are back for the final coat of our Varnish Maker interview prep deep dive.
That's right. Time to add that protective layer of confidence.
I love that analogy.
And get you ready to shine.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
From understanding the role to tackling those tricky interview questions.
Mm-hmm.
But before we wrap up, let's distill those key insights that will help you stand out as a top candidate.
The first takeaway is to truly own your expertise.
Okay.
Remember, you're not just mixing chemicals.
Right.
You're a skilled craftsperson who understands the science behind creating these durable and beautiful finishes.
Yeah. It's like being both a chemist and an artist.
Exactly.
Blending that precision with a touch of creativity.
Precisely. And don't underestimate the power of preparation.
Yeah.
Research the company, practice your answers.
Right.
Be ready to share specific examples.
Think of it like carefully measuring out those ingredients.
Yes.
Ensuring you have everything you need to create that perfect formula for success.
Now, remember those insightful career tips we got from the career guide.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that career progression is a journey, not a destination. Starting out, you might be assisting those more experienced varnish makers.
Right.
But with dedication and continuous learning, you can advance to roles with greater responsibility, potentially specializing in a specific type of varnish.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to set ambitious goals.
Right.
Visualize yourself leading the way in developing new formulas.
Yes.
Pioneering those sustainable practices within the field.
And speaking of setting yourself up for success,
Yeah.
let's not forget RoleCatcher's AI.
Oh, yeah. How can that help?
It can be your secret weapon
Okay.
throughout this whole process.
It's like having a personalized career coach in your pocket,
It is.
guiding you every step of the way.
Use it to tailor your resume and cover letter, practice your interview responses, research potential employers, even explore those alternative career paths.
Yeah, it's about leveraging that technology to amplify your potential and open doors to new opportunities.
Exactly. Now, before we apply that final layer of inspiration, I want to leave you with a thought. You've gained valuable insights into the role, the skills, and the interview process.
Right.
Now take a moment to think about what makes you unique.
Yeah.
What passions, experiences, or skills do you bring that will make you stand out as a candidate?
It's like adding that unique pigment to your varnish.
Yeah.
Creating a finish that reflects your individual brilliance.
I love that.
So we're confident that with your dedication, your preparation, and the support of RoleCatcher's AI, you'll make a lasting impression.
Yes.
And embark on a really fulfilling career in this world of varnish making.
Remember, the industry is evolving.
Yeah.
Embracing sustainability and innovation.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the one leading the charge.
Right.
Developing those next generation, eco-friendly, high-performance varnishes.
We wish you the best of luck.
That's a wrap on our Varnish Maker interview prep deep dive.
That's right.
We hope you gained some valuable insights and feel empowered to tackle that interview. Remember to explore RoleCatcher's resources, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive into a career path.
Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep those finishes shining.